want to just talk a little bit about our vision, our purpose, our strategy, and our goal. Devin did this quickly last week, but can you handle the transition? Are you guys with me, everybody? Okay, so I want to just make sure if you're new to Connect and if you need review as Connect, our vision, everybody, I want you to say this with me, and you can put it on the screen. Our vision is to connect the disconnected, okay? It's super simple, but what we basically believe is that everybody is disconnected at some level. They're disconnected, sometimes formally, they don't know God, or they're distant from God. And so our job as a church is to connect the disconnected to God. And then after that, give them purpose. Give them purpose. But for that to happen, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. We like to say it's a journey. It's not done through a program, it's a process. And so our purpose statement is that we want to take people on a life-changing what? Spiritual journey. Our purpose is to take people on a come on, say it with me, life-changing spiritual journey. So we connect the disconnected. That's why we exist. What are we up to, or what is our purpose? We take people on a life-changing spiritual journey. What do I mean by that? It means, in a nutshell, you can make a decision and something happens in your heart, like in a moment. Even in a second, your heart can change. But most people's life doesn't change in that moment or in that second. Something happened in here, but it hasn't happened out here. Does that make sense to everybody? And so that's why we say it's a journey. It's a process. What we try to do is assist that in a structure, in a strategy, or in a system. So we say your heart can change in a second, but your life is changed in a system. So we have a way that we do church that follows biblical mandates, but we apply kind of modern methodology to them. Let me explain this to you. So as a church, our strategy or our way is we do 4 things. Everybody say 4 things. And I want you to know these. If this is your church family, if this is your home, you need to know our vision. You need to know our purpose statement, and you need to know the 4 things we do. I would like to say nothing more, nothing less. Why is that important? Because for the team to move forward and impact the kingdom the way it needs to, we all need to know the play. We all need to know what is our direction? What is our why? What are we up to? How do we do it? So we do 4 things. We help people, 1, know God. Everybody say know God. So we want everybody who is disconnected from God to come to know him. We don't want them to join a church before they join Jesus. So this is a soul-winning church. We're here to help people connect with God who don't know him. We're not a church just for church people. We're a church for all people. Amen? We're the perfect church for imperfect people. So you want to help people come to know God. Then when they come to know God, their heart has changed, eternity is secure, but they're still struggling here on earth. They got out of jail, but now they got to get the jailbird out of them. And so we help people, number 2, find freedom. Everybody say find freedom. Everybody's got issues. If you don't think you have an issue, that's your issue. Everybody's got issues. So we're helping people deal with their yesterdays so they're not living in the rearview mirror the rest of their lives. They're moving forward. And free people are the most powerful people on the planet. So we help people know God. We help people find freedom. Once they find freedom, now they're free to pursue what God created them to do. But how do they do that? They have to discover purpose. Number 3, discover purpose. Everybody say discover purpose. Want everybody to know that you were born on purpose for a purpose. God has something that he wants you to do. In fact, it's the number 1 question. It's really number 2. You were born, but then you find out why you were born. Why are you here? You're here to do more than take up space, abuse God's grace, suck air. You're here for a purpose. So I think the church's job scripturally is to help people discover what that is. And so we help you with that. And then number 4, we help people make a difference. Everybody say make a difference. Lots of people are making dollars, but very few people are making a difference. We want to make it so that you're not preoccupied with salary. You are overwhelmed by significance because you're doing something that matters. And many people don't know how to do that. How do we do that? Well, we help people know God in our weekend services. Because every time, if you bring a friend, you can be sure the gospel will be presented. Amen. We help people find freedom in groups. That's why we call people out of the crowd. That's where we call people out of the crowd into community. Can I just tell you a good announcement? Can I tell you a cool thing about our church? 80% of our adults right now are in small groups. I don't think you realize that. 80% of all locations are currently in a small group right now. That is phenomenal. I am so proud of you. You guys get what it means to come out of the crowd and get into community. But then how do we help people discover purpose? I'm glad you asked. We do that through Next Steps. And Next Steps, as was mentioned before, starts next week. Step 1 starts next week. We're combining 2 steps together next week on week 1. Week 2, we're doing 3 and 4 together. So you can do all of Next Steps in 2 weeks. But here's what I hope is exciting to you. I'm going to teach next week. I want to meet some of you in person. I haven't taught Next Steps in like 10 years, so you can pray for me that I remember what it even is, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But I can't wait to meet some of you in person. And that's where we'll get to kind of rub shoulders and get to. So don't miss that. Next week is going to be very, very important for us.